What's good, guys? We're back at it again with another video. As you see from the title, today we have a Mccain Session 2 EYBL breakdown. This is currently the number 24 player in the class of 2023. If you guys didn't know, ESPN just recently came out with their updated ranking. So they expanded 2023 to 100. 2024 now has 60 players ranked, and then 2025 now has 25 players ranked. We'll probably come with a video at some point just going through all those updated rankings. But with Jared, like I said, number 24, he's a Duke commit. I did a first breakdown on him, I think 7-8 months ago, and I was saying in that, like, this is one of the, more popular high school basketball players there are nowadays. Like, especially over the last couple of years, Z, Mikey, Jared, like players like that, of course, Melo, like Jared's up there, and it's because of TikTok. So even in that old breakdown, I was saying, like, when I was playing AAU high school basketball, there weren't many really good players, ranked players on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snap, on social media, out dancing and doing all that. So I was saying in that video, I was saying as a competitor, if someone that I'm playing at my position who's ranked over me is on TikTok and I'm seeing them dancing and smiling and this and that, I'm thinking, okay, it's about to be sweet. Like, I want to play him so I can show people, like, yeah, it's not that, like, he's not that. It was a little bit different with Jared because this is a player who you'll see on TikTok. He might film one before the game. You'll see a TikTok, oh yeah, we about to play this dude. You'll be scrolling and he dancing, smiling. You get on the court, he'll give you 30. Like, he will give you 30. I said that in the old breakdown, but there was an added aspect about it that I also want to talk about was when you are like that, when you are that popular, when you have all those TikTok followers, when your competitors see you dancing, smiling, they're going to go into games against you with an extra level of physicality that they might not have with other players, you know what I'm saying, just simply because they might not respect what you're doing on TikTok. Even though, like I'm saying, there's no problem with it. He's still a good basketball player, but some players might look at it a different way. I saw his first session. I did watch some of those games. He didn't play that well, right? I see on Instagram people, oh yeah, they killed team, why not? And I like to keep it real on the channel. I've watched the games. I saw the stats session 1. Jared was not playing that well, so I didn't do the breakdown on that one. I'm like, okay, I played in the circuit. I understand, you might have one session where you just play bad. The next one, you might pick it back up. Okay, I'll wait to session 2. So what we have today, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer, Jared Mccain.
Jared Mccain has a reputation as a shooter, as he can knock down set shots such as this one, or even on this next possession. He can also knock down threes in transition. With decent size and athleticism for his position, Jared Mccain does show from time to time that he can finish in traffic around the rim. Again, even with outstretched hands, Jared can knock down open shots when given time and space. There are times within games that defensive pressure can speed Jared up, causing him to dribble into traffic, which usually ends in turnovers. Similar possession here, the defensive intensity sped Jared up, forcing him into traffic and into a tough shot. Again, let him get downhill and he will wow you from time to time with creative and acrobatic finishes. He's always had a great pace and feel with the ball in his hands, being able to change speeds to create space for himself to get open looks. Watch on this next possession as he rejects this ball screen. He gets downhill, then slows up his steps to create the space to get the floater. Intense physicality with Jared, taking away his space and always being in his face, can lead to turnovers with him. Even on this next play, this little bump in physicality causes him to try and make a tough pass, which leads to a turnover. This is a great job here by Jared, recognizing the mismatch, instantly getting by him, and again, tough finish with the left. His game isn't just predicated on scoring, though. Jared is a good rebounder, a willing passer with vision. He actually finished this game with 7 rebounds and 7 assists.
Okay, so Jared, like I said in the beginning, when you're that popular already, when you're a top 25, really if you're in the top 100 at all, but especially if you're that top 25, definitely top 10 type of caliber player, dudes is marking you down, circling your name. They're looking to play you. So when you have that added aspect of, like I said, you're on TikTok, you're doing all the extra, the off the court, activities, dudes are going to go into these games head hunting. They are looking for you. They are looking for the TikToker that everyone says is so nice. And I just wanted you guys to see, like, in these games, it was the added physicality is there. Like, when dudes are guarding Jared Mccain, like, there is a added, they're bumping them, they're shoving them, they're doing all the extra, and it's showing, like, in his game. So, like, when I watched the first couple, his first session, I was saying to myself, like, yeah, he looks like, dudes is really, like, guarding him. Like, they're not letting him get anything. he isn't making shots. That's another thing. He wasn't really making shots in the first session, but I saw this added level of physicality of the players guarding him. So I'm like, okay, I'm still watching him. He's getting to his spots. He's just missing. They are being physical. He's having some trouble finishing around the rim. I'm like, okay, let me wait to session 2. Let me see. Okay, maybe that was just a one bad session. He didn't play that well. This session, there was an improvement. He definitely played better than the first session, but at the same time, you could still see that there were, times where that physicality will get to Jared, and I showed it in the breakdown. Let's get into it. So offensively, like he's always been known as a shooter, right? He can shoot the ball. He can score the ball. Like I said, this dude can make a TikTok, give you 30 because he can score the ball, right? Really at all 3 levels. He can knock down the open 3. He can knock down the mid-range. He can finish at the rim from time to time, right? But in both of these sessions, I will say his shot has not been falling, right? It hasn't been falling. He's hit a couple threes, hit a couple mid-range, but for the majority of the shots that he's been taking, they haven't been falling over these first 3 sessions. But that's not negating the fact that, I'm watching these games. So I'm seeing that he's missing the shots, but at the same time, he's still getting to his spots, right? So he still understands. He's still finding the open threes. He's still relocating, getting himself open looks in the perimeter. He knocks down some of them. He can get to his mid-range pull-up. I showed you the one that he made. But throughout a couple games, he was still getting to it, coming off the pick and roll, the big sag, and he's getting to his pull-up. He's just not knocking it down. And then with the finishes, there were times he would struggle around length, but at the same time, you also saw he does have the creativity, the acrobatics. He can do all this and that and still finish around the rim, right hand or left hand. But as you saw, there were times where when dudes were pressing up in him, like taking away his space, like really trying to see like, okay, can you handle the ball? That's where you would start to see trouble, especially like in the CP3 game when Aiden Holloway was guarding him. He was having trouble getting around Aiden. He was losing the ball, turning it over, like I showed you. Even whoever's guarding him, they're speeding him up. So all of a sudden they're funneling him straight to the rim, where you got GG or another big right there ready to block the shot. So a lot of that was happening. But at the same time, like he was still showing like, okay, he'll hit the 3 here. He'll hit the mid-range here. I think the CP3 game was actually his best game. I think he had 16 that game. So he did show, okay, when his shot is falling, you can see like what the type of player he is. It's just that, these dudes are being extremely physical with him. He just has to adjust. He's having trouble sometimes. His game looks his best right now when he just keeps it simple. Okay, if I'm open, I'm going to take this. I'm not going to try and play with the ball because my handle isn't that of a Rob Dillingham or something like that. No, right now it's looking like he just needs to keep it simple till he really works on that pat. So all of a sudden when dudes, press up on him, he can get by him and he can be strong with the ball and he can just play at his own pace. Now, while we're talking about pace, though, like I said, when he did come off pick and rolls, he did show like Jared isn't just a one-dimensional player. He isn't the type of player that he's not scoring, his shots not falling, they're locking him down, offensively, things like that. Like this isn't the type of player that you would say, oh, yeah, he doesn't do anything else. No, Jared also rebounds the ball at an extremely high rate at the guard position. In that last game, I think he had 7 rebounds. In a lot of the other games, he had 5, 6, 7, 8 rebounds. So he was active on the glass and he was passing. So what do I always say? If your shot isn't falling, if you're not in it offensively, you're having a hard time scoring, get your teammates involved. So I'm watching him. He's making great reads to his teammates. Looking dudes off, passing dudes open. So he's not just a one-dimensional player. He was also competing on the defensive end as well. So even though, like I said, right now, right through here, it's looking like his shot isn't falling. Dudes is playing him a little bit harder. He's having some trouble finding out how to score. Like I said, he's still getting it. I think he's still like averaging maybe around 10, 11 points right now. But he's still trying to figure out, okay, how can I score with this added physicality, with this added attention on me that he's been garnering, like I said, because of the attention that he has on his name and the name recognition. People know him. But all in all, like you can still see, like I showed you in the breakdown, like you can still see this is a still top 25 basketball player. Good size, good length, decent athleticism. Like I said, he still shows that he can knock down shots from 3, from mid, from in the paint. He got the creative finishes. Like I said, he also is a rebounder. He has great vision. He can pass his teammates open. Right now, it's just going to be about, working on that handle, getting in the weight room, adding that level of physicality to his game so people can't bump him off the line. He can start delivering those bumps, knocking people off, so he can create more space for himself and it can really start to expand his game. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Remember, if you want the subscriber breakdowns, they can post it on the channel. or the one-on-one evaluations, hit my website in the description. Like I always say, appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next time with the next video.